I mean, look, Dan, if you need a chip that can sort of power these data servers, that can sort of be at the focal point of what you need to crunch these numbers, to be at the center of AI, you have to go to Nvidia. That's going to change at some point.
Nvidia.
Who is Nvidia? What is she? That all our swains commend her. Holy, fair, and wise is she. The heavens such grace did lend her.
If you're a game lover, I'm very sure you'll know about Nvidia. If you don't, then I think your gaming license should be revoked, or you probably played games before the 90s. And in case you don't know, Nvidia is one of the fastest growing tech companies. Nvidia's name comes from the Latin word invidia, meaning envy, showing the founders' aim to create something others would admire. Nvidia isn't just concerned about gaming alone, but they're involved in areas you'd never expect. Some people don't actually know Nvidia powers ChatGPT and also partners with Google. Nvidia started by creating just graphic cards for games, but today Nvidia is worth over $2 trillion. Huge, right? In fact, they're currently the third richest company by market capitalization, behind Microsoft at 2 and Google at number 1. Nvidia is currently found in most self-driven cars today, which makes you know that in few years from now, Nvidia may probably be the richest company in the world. Of course, these guys seem to be on top of every latest trend. Who is actually spearheading this trillion-dollar company? How did they go global? What are Nvidia's present challenges? If you snooze, you'll definitely miss when I'll provide the answers to your questions. So grab your drink and chill while I tell you an interesting story. Nvidia was started by skilled individuals. Jensen Huang, a Taiwanese-American electrical engineer, had worked as the director of coreware at LSI Logic and as a microprocessor designer at AMD. LSI Logic later played an important role in helping Nvidia get started. Chris Malachowski had worked at HP and Sun Microsystems, and Curtis Priam had designed graphics chips at IBM and Sun Microsystems. However, knowing how to build things didn't mean they knew how to start a company, and they quickly realized this. In 1993, unsure of what to do next, they hired a lawyer to guide them. The first step was to officially create the company. To get started, they needed some money to give the company's shares value. Jensen Huang had $200, which he handed to the lawyer. This small amount not only got the company officially started, but also gave Huang a 20% share in Nvidia. The next step was to get funding, which wasn't easy. The founders quickly found out that venture capitalists weren't interested in detailed business plans. Instead, they relied on the founders' reputation, past successes, and a big idea that seemed worth the risk. Nvidia eventually secured $20 million from Sequoia Capital and Sutter Hill Ventures. To outsiders, this might seem unbelievable. How could a new company get $20 million so quickly? The truth is, Jensen Huang's connection to LSI Logic was key to getting this funding. Jensen reached out to LSI's CEO, who arranged a meeting with Sequoia Capital. Sequoia had invested in LSI Logic before it had made $150 million from its IPO. Because of Huang's good relationship with LSI, Sequoia was willing to listen to him. At first, Sequoia's founder wasn't sure about investing in a graphics card company, but they eventually decided to take the risk, starting with $2 million and later adding another $18 million. It's important to note that this was a very risky move. At the time, there were 89 other companies with the same goals as Nvidia, but only AMD and Nvidia would survive eventually. When Nvidia went public in 1999, it was valued at $600 million, so the initial investment paid off extremely well, 100 times over. But let's not rush ahead. At this point, Nvidia was just a small team of engineers. After securing funding, it took them 2 years to build a team and create their first product, the NV1, which was launched in 1995. While developing the NV1 chip, Nvidia made a deal with Sega to produce NV1 chips for their gaming consoles. These chips were meant for games like Virtua Fighter and Daytona. Interestingly, the NV1 chips were also available for computers, meaning you could play Sega Saturn games directly on your PC in 1995. To give some context, The first PlayStation had only come out a year earlier. Even today, something like this is rare. It's like if Sony made a computer graphics card that allowed you to play PS5 games directly on your desktop. However, there was a problem. Nvidia decided to use a quadrangle-based image rendering design for their NV1 chips, and Sega wasn't happy about it. Despite this, Nvidia's leaders stuck to their decision. But why did they choose quadrangles instead of triangles? This choice is explained in a video by Lazy Game Reviews. In 1999, Nvidia entered the PC graphics market with the GeForce 256 card. This wasn't just successful, it was the first programmable graphics card and helped make the term GPU popular. It allowed gamers and developers to create better-looking games with advanced shading and lighting effects. As Nvidia continued to succeed, they went public that same year. In 2000, they had secured a big deal to develop graphics hardware for Microsoft's Xbox console. This deal gave them a $200 million advance, which was a huge improvement from their earlier struggles with Sega. The Xbox launched in 2001 with a custom NV2A chip, and this success helped Nvidia grow and thrive throughout the 2000s. Now, Nvidia's GPUs are the go-to choice for training and running AI models. For example, OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT, uses Nvidia's A100 series GPUs to run its AI models quickly and effectively. After ChatGPT became popular in November 2022, many tech companies scrambled to buy Nvidia's GPUs. The A100 GPUs were in high demand, with Microsoft alone using thousands of them. Jensen Huang is the only CEO of a big tech company who has been in charge since the company was founded. Over 30 years, he's led Nvidia to great success, but not without some criticism. Some people feel that his strong focus on making money can sometimes seem like greed. After the company was fined by the SEC, many felt they weren't given clear information. Gamers, in particular, are unhappy about the high prices of Nvidia's graphics cards, especially compared to cheaper ones from AMD. In 2022, there was a major issue when EVGA, a key partner that helped make Nvidia's GPUs, decided to end its partnership and leave the GPU market. The CEO of EVGA, Andrew Han, said this decision was because Nvidia wasn't communicating well about pricing. This situation led to more questions about Huang's focus on profits and his business practices. In a recent interview, Huang mentioned that if he could go back in time, he wouldn't choose this career path again. He shared that starting and running a company like Nvidia was extremely difficult, with many challenges along the way. From laying off workers in 1995 to facing constant competition and uncertainty, Huang believes the stress is something most people wouldn't want to experience again. When asked in 2023 if he would start a company again with two smart friends, Huang said he wouldn't. The reason wasn't about what kind of company they would start, but because building Nvidia was much harder than anyone expected. The struggles, failures, and embarrassment that come with growing a company are things he thinks most people wouldn't choose to go through. Nvidia has seen huge growth over the past 2 years, being in the right place at the right time. The company's stock price has increased by 220% in the last year, and revenue grown by 206%. However, there are mixed opinions on whether this growth can continue. Most people believe that AI will keep growing and that Nvidia will continue to benefit from it. The company is already investing heavily in AI research and producing impressive work in this field. Others, however, think that this rapid growth can't last forever. There's concern that Nvidia won't be the only major player in the GPU and AI hardware market for long. Companies like Amazon and Microsoft are working on their own custom chips. Microsoft has also entered the desktop computing market with its ARC series, and AMD is becoming more competitive. Nvidia's heavy reliance on Taiwan-based TSMC for its chips could also become an issue due to increasing tensions between China and Taiwan. This reliance on TSMC is a risk not just for Nvidia, but for the entire global chip supply chain. There are now more threats to Nvidia in the chip market than there have been in a long time, so it's uncertain how things will turn out. That's the story of Nvidia so far. It's been a tough road, and I hope you found the story interesting and learned something new. Nvidia is currently worth $2.8 trillion, but just like some people think, would the rapid growth of Nvidia lead to a rapid fall? Well, you know the saying, the higher the rise, the harder the fall.